Hi, I'm Chris Harrison. In the many seasons of The Bachelor and Bachelorette, I have seen hundreds of men and women come on this show to find love. And I've seen many find their soulmates. Some have gotten married and even had kids. Their dream of a romantic life has come true. But not everybody is so lucky. Some of the couples that have gotten engaged on our show have not stayed together, and they parted with broken hearts. So it is with a degree of regret and sadness that I bring you this Bachelor update. Brad and Emily, it seemed like they were meant to be. All of America watched as Brad asked Emily to marry him in one of the most magical proposals we've ever had on this show. But the months after the show stopped airing were really hard on them. And as much as they tried to keep their relationship private, it was not. And while they struggled, they were tracked by the tabloids and hounded by the paparazzi. Hurtful rumors continue to this day. And Brad and Emily, keeping their silence throughout all of this, only seemed to make things worse. So, the time has come to speak out for the first time publicly. Try to help everybody understand how a couple so determined to make it work finally gave up on the love they found together. Please welcome back Emily.
Hi. Thank you. Bye.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again. How you been?
I'm doing well.
Shaking a little bit?
I'm a little nervous.
All right. Why are you nervous?
I'm just scared. It's just Dad being here.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Last time I came, it was a lot different.
Well, why don't we go inside and talk, okay?
Okay.
Let's see.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to see you again like this.
I know, me too. I thought we'd be planning a wedding next time I saw you.
I know.
The last time I pulled up in a car was the first night getting out,
Yeah.
you know, and it just brought back a lot of memories, and yeah.
So I can see you're emotional being back here in the house.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about this place that brings that emotion out?
I think just being by myself and not having Brad here and remembering, you know, how excited I'd get for dates
Right.
and, you know, the rose ceremonies and all that. It's just sad.
What was it about Brad that drew you to him and drew you guys so close together while the show was on and then even after?
During, you know, while the show was on, I think it was just, he's such a gentleman, you know, beyond his good looks and everything else. He's such a gentleman, and he's very good at expressing how he feels and making whoever's around him feel good, and he's just completely different than any other guy I've ever met.
And so, just to be clear, and so everybody knows, where does your relationship with Brad stand right now?
We're not engaged anymore, but he's sorry.
It's okay.
But he's, you know, always going to be a huge part of my life. And I don't, you know, for so long, I think that we left the ... And, you know, I feel bad that it's taken us this long to, you know, let everybody know. But, you know, I just finally, you know, I'm ready to say it.
Are you still in love with Brad?
I'll always be in love with Brad. You know, no one will ever hear me say a bad word about him, and nor will I tolerate anybody else saying anything bad about him. You know, not a day will go by that I don't regret how things have turned out and wish things were different.
So, and I know this is the $1 million question, because everybody wants to know, and I'm not saying everyone has a right to know, but because this was so public, everybody does want to know. After the final rose special, when you guys started anew, and I knew you guys to be going well, what happened? Like, what went wrong?
You know, like I said, the day that Brad proposed to me was one of the happiest days I can remember.
Yeah.
And the show stopped airing, and I was going to get Ricky and I an apartment, and I was going through my house and cleaning everything out. I was so excited.
And when you say get an apartment, were you going to move to Austin?
Get an apartment in Austin for the summer and just, kind of see how things go. And I couldn't move in with him. I have Ricky, and I
understand.
I just wouldn't do that. But little red flags would come up in our relationship. And I came to a point where I said, I have to be honest with myself and with this relationship. And I realized that maybe my want for it to work out, I wanted to be married, and I wanted to have more children, and I wanted that with him. Maybe overshadowed the actual reality of the relationship.
Okay.
I didn't doubt that we loved each other. I just doubted, he was still going to want to be with me, And, I think that we both have been used to being single. We're both used to being single, and I think that that's a hard adjustment. As a single mom, I don't have the luxury of saying, right, I'll just figure it out when I get there. Or everything will go away when I get there. Right. I need to know that the person that I'm moving for is going to want to be with me 6 weeks down the road, much less 6 years. And I didn't have that reassurance. And maybe we didn't have what it takes to, last forever. Because when I get married, I want it to be forever. I think that's what makes this so hard, is just remembering that. And how things took such a turn. And I don't know how it happened. I wish I would have known, or that we could have done something different. And promise nobody's more disappointed about it than I am. But, I wanted to do that. I felt like it was a fairy tale going through it. And I feel like everybody else did too. So I don't want anybody to feel like they were lied to. This was my worst nightmare, I just always believed that, or thought that as long as you love each other, that it'll work. And I swore that we would be the one that would, because I felt like what we had was so real, and my hopes were so high. Yeah. And I wanted it so bad. And it's just really disappointing. And it feels like a failure. And, you want something so bad and then it doesn't happen. And it's just heartbreaking. I just had such high expectations for everything.
Well, I appreciate you being here. We have a lot more to discuss.
Thank you.
This is the first time you've spoken out publicly about your breakup with Brad. And so I'll continue my talk with Emily when we come back right after this. Welcome back. Talking with Emily, the first time she's spoken out about her breakup with Brad. And first of all, I want to discuss why Brad isn't here today. And you know this, I've talked to Brad. He knows that you and I are sitting here, and he actually gave his blessing.
Oh, yeah. I wish I didn't have to sit here. You all invited me to come and do this a while ago, and Brad and I both said, thanks, but no thanks. I just thought that it would go away after a while, and, people would move on to the next couple. Everybody deserves to know what happened, because whenever you go on the show, you open your life up. And, right. I want to tell people, but I want it to end with this. I just want to say it one time. Anybody who's ever gone through a breakup knows that you don't want to tell the story right. 18 times. It's hard to talk about once. And I just, I trust you to, tell the story and not sell it.
I know you guys have been attacked and haunted by the tabloids, by the paparazzi. Try to shed a little light on what your life has been like, what that's been like.
I think that anybody that comes on the show expects a little bit of that, but there's nothing that anybody can do to prepare you for this kind of attention, going from, being a nobody to being followed to the grocery store.
So the paparazzi would sit outside your house.
Oh yeah, I mean, the cameraman would sit outside my house all day, all night, follow us everywhere. I couldn't go anywhere. And it's
So they would
hard
literally follow you and Ricky everywhere you went.
Oh yeah, and it's hard to explain to a 5-year-old who doesn't know what The Bachelor is, why anybody is taking pictures. You know, she would only buy that they were taking pictures at the bookstore of everybody for so long. And, you know, she thinks I'm like the least cool person ever. So, you know, I told her that everybody thought I was Taylor Swift, and she didn't believe me.
It's been so difficult trying to live this in the public eye. Do you think Brad and you would have made it outside of all this?
I don't know. And I think that it would have been much easier. Much easier.
When was the last time you talked to Brad?
Just a couple days ago. You know, we text a lot, and we talk often.
Do you think you'll remain in touch?
Oh, yeah. He has, I feel like, changed me as a person. You know, he has taught me a lot, and I'll always be here for him, you know, always.
He is incredibly protective of you. And so it's, you know, I just see this between you two.
Yeah.
And it's, and I see what that does to you right now.
Yeah. It makes me sad because I know that we love each other enough, you know, that we could make it work if it was just based on that.
Right.
But it's not. And, you know, it's just really sad.
Yeah. So where do you go from here?
Right now, I don't know. Right now, I just want to focus on being a mom and not have to worry about, you know, if somebody is in the bushes taking pictures, or if something I tell a girlfriend is going to end up in a magazine the next day, and not knowing who to trust. So I think all this attention brings out the worst in people. And, you know, it's been really hard on me. It's, you know, you don't know who to turn to, so you end up just staying by yourself, and that makes you even more sad.
Well, I very much appreciate you coming here.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry that you and I are sitting down talking like this. This is the last place.
Me too.
I want to be sitting with you. And I'm sorry Brad wasn't here with us today.
Me too.
I'd speak for everybody on The Bachelor who ever came in contact with you, and I know the millions of viewers that, you know, we all wish you the very best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.